is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show. This
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. It is Monday, July 10th, 2023. The deadest time of the year. Yes, sir. That's how it goes. As we wait for Dalvin Cook to make his decision, we wait for the Portland Trailblazers and the Miami Heat to work out the Damian Lillard trade, which it'll happen eventually, but, we're just going to have to wait. We wait for Dolphins training camp, which is just a couple of weeks away. And now we just watch NBA Summer League, right? And we watch the other Big O perform in Orlando Robinson on Saturday night. That was nice. That was nice. But as I told Orlando Robinson once, all right, there's only one Big O in this town. But so we'll let him. It's his birthday today, by the way. Orlando Robinson's birthday today. So happy birthday to the other O in town, Orlando Robinson, which was really nice. So we watched the baseball team. They took 2 of 3 from the stinking Phillies. Cam Wolf is depressed somewhere. We'll talk to him tomorrow, drunk in his beer after losing 2 of 3 of the Marlins. So good job by the Marlins. 14 games over 500 to end the break. So now we have the home run derby tonight, right? Yeah, it's so exciting. It's thrilling. Can't wait to watch it. God, I'm on the edge of my seat. Can't you tell? I think, in fact, don't they play tonight? Yeah, I'll be watching the Heat and the Suns instead of Home Run Derby. Okay, thank you very much. I'll be doing that instead of wasting my time watching Home Run Derby. But anyway, so we got all kinds of stuff to talk about on the program. We've got Ira Winderman joining us at 10:30. We'll get his thoughts on what's going on with the whole Damian Lillard situation. David Furonis will stop by at 11:30. We're going to have Marcel on too, but we pushed Marcel back to Tuesday. Just, to have two Dolphin interviews today, it just doesn't, there's nothing going on. You know what I mean? We addressed the, story over the weekend that he won't sign the deal with the Dolphins, and if you haven't heard that, we explained to you exactly like we have pretty much with Dalvin Cook. I don't think anybody is even close to us in the media anywhere on following the Dalvin Cook situation. I don't think anybody's been way more accurate on that. So, what can I tell you? But so we wait, and we got that going on, and then we got a whole bunch of other stories going on in sports that we'll bounce around and we'll talk about here. Inter Miami ends up tying. We all wait for Messi, basically, right? That's what it's all about, waiting for Messi. Nothing else. That's it. We got some stuff to talk about with Summer League. Got some NFL things I want to get into. So, And by the way, for our friends in Reading, Pennsylvania, or in Hudson Valley, out in New York, or in Massachusetts, obviously our thoughts and prayers, because obviously some crazy ass flooding going on over the weekend too in some of those areas too. So feel for them, and obviously a couple other shootings over the weekend too, which is just absolutely depressing. But anyway, so some other stuff that happened in the world of our lives that are a little bit off of sports. While I do a talk show every day, a sports talk show every day here, it's one of the things that I can't control and I can't do anything about it is as I get older, my interests vary and I have other things and so that's probably why this show sometimes there's other things that are weaved into it. And so some of you may like it, some of you may not. Apologies, but, can't change who I am. You know what I'm saying? When I see things that affect me. What else do we have going on? Sean and I are officially, I kind of expected it, but it cost us a little money, by the way. But, it's all right. I'll hang in there. But finally, the Hall of Fame gave us our approval of our credentials so we can cover Zach Thomas getting inducted. But I had not made the plane flights or reserve stuff, and probably cost me, if I could have done it like a month and a half ago, I would have saved a couple $100, bro. Jesus Christ, dude. But anyway, so that was kind of tough last night having to, we're all set. Sean and I are set. We'll be in Canton for a couple of days. We'll be covering the events from Friday through Sunday. I don't know how many, I'm sure the radio station isn't going. That's for sure. Maybe, I don't know if any of the television stations are even going, but we will be there to cover Zach Thomas getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the other thing that I want to do when we're out there, remember I wanted to get us all together. When was it last time that we were going for, what was it for the Hall of Fame, but it kind of fell through, Sean? Do you remember? What was it for the Hall of Fame? There was some shit that was going on and either we didn't go or something. And anyway, but either way, have you ever been to the Hall of Fame? You haven't, right, Sean? So, because I remember the last time I went, I think Grieper went with me to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, this will be Sean's first time. That's good. And you haven't been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame either, Sean. So, maybe on Monday when we're flying back, we fly back at 6. We can go into Cleveland since we fly out of there and go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can check it out if you want. I'll go again. You don't have to twist my arm to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But if you want to, we'll definitely go with go for you, my brother. Yes.
John Ross said it was COVID time. I think that's what happened.
What was it again?
John Ross said it was COVID. I guess.
Oh, it was COVID.
Okay. COVID hit.
Right. Yeah. COVID hit and kind of screwed everything up. And yeah, he's right. I think he's right about that. And but what was it specifically that we were trying to do over there? I forgot what it was. But anyway, remember we wanted to gather around Shula's bust and sing, obviously the Dolphin fight song. Well, we're going to do it this time, right? Because a lot of people from the Dolphin Nation are going to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and they're going to go to the induction for Zach Thomas, right? So we are going to be there. And being there, we also want to get together with all of you out there and meet at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the induction's on Saturday. I'm figuring we do it Friday, the day before. And we meet somewhere, like in the afternoon, like around 2 o'clock or something like that on Friday afternoon. Because I would imagine that most people are in town by then, because Saturday's the event. You know what I mean? Sunday, Sean and I are going to cover the Round Table, which is a really cool event. I covered it for Marino's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we're going to do that now for Zach's, and then we'll fly back on Monday. So that'll be awesome, and we'll try to get Zach and everything. So we'll have some fun, and I'm going to track Zach down, make sure I set that up sometime over there at one point or another. So we'll have a little fun with Zach. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we are set. If you happen to be going, or you live in that area, let's obviously, hook up. You know what I mean? So we got all of that going on. Yes. What else do we have? Also, let me see something here. I'm looking for something here on my phone. Okay. Anyway, so we'll do that on Friday. I would think that would be the better day, because Saturday's kind of busy and the event's going on. So Friday, let's meet in the afternoon at the Hall of Fame. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do my best to get it lined up with Zach so we can do the interview. I mean, I've known the man for 20 years, so longer actually. Since he got drafted, whatever. So hopefully we'll get that done. The Church, they're coming they're touring. So the Church is touring, huh? Are they coming to South Florida? Yes, they are. Like it. October 30th, Culture Room. All right. Not bad. I saw them the last time they toured, and they did the whole Starfish album, which was actually really cool. That's kind of what you want them to do, because that's kind of their peak right there. Peter says, Big O, glad you're planning on heading to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. I currently reside there, and I work for the local paper that covers the Hall of Fame weekend. It would be an honor to meet you in person. Well, it'll be an honor to meet you, sir. So let's do it. Definitely. We'll be there for 4 days, hanging around, goofing off, and having some fun. We're staying in Akron, by the way. Okay? Staying in Akron, and we'll be in Canton every day. So I guess Akron is halfway between Cleveland and Canton. I think that's how it goes. Big O, do you reside in Broward or Dade? I am a Dade boy. Been a Dade boy my entire life. For a short time, I was a West Palm Beach boy. First 6 months of my life, because I was born in Belle Glade, in the corner of West Palm Beach County, in the northwest corner of Palm Beach County. and then we moved here. So been a Dade resident my entire life. Head over to Mansfield, Ohio for the Incarceration Tour. Friday, Limp Bizkit and Volbeat. That Friday, the 3rd, right? Or the 4th? What is it? I think. Are you sure? Really? That Friday. How far is that? How far is Mansfield, Ohio from Akron? What kind of a drive? Because, I'm going by myself. Sean's not going to Limp Bizkit, bro. No. But I would go see Limp Bizkit. Not so much about Volbeat, but I would go see Limp Bizkit. That's for sure. So are you telling me August 4th on that Friday is that concert? Huh, Christo? So you gotta fill me in on this here. Crystal, 3-day event. Akron is like 15 minutes away from Canton, very close. Right. I know that. Mansfield is home to the prison where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. Oh, really? Very nice. Don't wear any jewelry in dude, I don't wear jewelry. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you call this jewelry? I don't wear jewelry. I don't even wear my wedding ring. I lost one of the diamonds once, and that's it. I don't. My jewelry. I don't even wear my real jewelry. I put it all away because I'm a disaster with my jewelry. So I either break it, lose it, scratch it, mess it up, and no, not doing that. So I don't even wear I haven't worn my wedding ring like ever. Like I wore my wedding ring, I think maybe the first year I was married. Maybe. I don't even know if I got to a year when I lost the diamond. Because it had 5 diamonds and I lost one on the one end. Luckily, those are the smaller ones. But I was like, yeah, and I've been like that my entire life with jewelry. I don't know why, but I have the worst luck with jewelry. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. So I don't buy any jewelry anymore. I don't know that when I buy it, it's costume jewelry. It's crap. It's stuff that not going to cost me much. $10, $12, $30, $40. No, silver chains. They're not. I don't buy anything expensive anymore. That I do not want any jewelry. My wife knows to never give me jewelry ever again. So because I'm terrible with it. So if anybody wants to jump me for jewelry, boy, your broke ass is not going to have any fun with me. That's for sure. Sorry, wrong dates. Oh, Christo, you asshole. You just got me jacked up, bro. You got me jacked up. Oh, you can't do this kind of shit to me. I thought I was going to go cover the Hall of Fame and see Limp Bizkit. What the hell is that, Christo? What are you doing, bro? Man. Sorry, wrong dates. Psych. Big O, just apropos to nothing terrestrial radio lives, I just won tickets for the Eagles farewell with Steely Dan opening up. Thank you, WKRR Rock 92 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Your rock and roll station. That's awesome. And by the way, it's freaking hilarious that you brought that up because that is one of the subjects that I wanted to talk about today, on the side to have a little fun with it because the Eagles have announced they're calling it the Long Road Goodbye Tour. Okay. So Don Henley, Joe Walsh, Timothy B. Schmidt, and Vince Gill and Deacon Fry. I've seen this version of what's it called? The Eagles a couple times. They're not coming here to South Florida. But I've seen it a couple times. Even if they came, I think the last time they came, I didn't go. Because I've seen this version several times. And Vince Gill, by the way, does an excellent job. Deacon sounds a lot like his dad. So if you haven't seen it, by the way, it's worth it for you. It really is. So they're going to go to New York and Boston, Newark, Belmont Park, Denver, Indianapolis, Detroit, Cleveland, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, Lexington, and St. Paul. Those are the dates of the long goodbye farewell tour. And I got to tell you something. I'm looking forward to the Eagles kind of ending this. Okay. I've seen the original Eagles. I've seen this version of the Eagles, all that kind of stuff. Can I get selfish now? Okay. You lost Glenn Fry already. At this point, Fingers Felder's no longer there, and so, yeah, there's been enough changes. I can the other bassist, I can deal with losing him because I like Timothy B. Schmidt more than Randy Meisner. More than Randy Meisner. I'd rather have Timothy B. Schmidt than Meisner anyway. Okay. So, but here's my selfishness out of all of this. I've only seen Don Henley solo concerts one time. Long time ago in the 90s, I believe it was. And I'd like to see Don Henley tour again and do his stuff because I love his solo material. I'm sure he'll sing he'll slide in a couple of Eagles songs and all of that. But I'm kind of glad that maybe they're going to put an end to this chapter of this Eagles band because, and look, I get it. If you've never seen it, good for you. You'll get at least a taste of it. Obviously, nothing's the same without Glenn Fry because, the other half of those songs, it's not Glenn Fry singing them anymore. So that changes everything. You know what I'm saying? But selfishly, that's what I thought of when I heard about the long goodbye farewell tour, that I said, I'm kind of glad. I hope they kind of put an end to this so Don can then tour on his own because he's got a absolutely stellar solo material. He has developed his own catalog of music, which is awesome. And who knows, maybe he can come up with a new album or whatever. But his first 3-4 albums were just outstanding, man. And so that's where I'm kind of, in a twisted way, I'm almost happy that this is, a farewell tour, and I hope it is. Sorry, because I want to see Don Henley solo, So I saw that and I was like, yeah, man, that would be actually really cool if I could see Don Henley solo one more time. By the way, let me just do it now. Birthdays today, kind of light. Sofia Vergara, she is 51 years old today. Antonio Loco Brown is 35 years old today. Jessica Simpson is 43 years old today. And it's a lot of YouTube and TikTok stars that I have no idea who the hell they are. But that's every day on these things. Every day there's a whole bunch of these people that I have no idea who they are. But this was a light day today. Yeah, that's it. I don't think anything. Yep, no, that's it. That's it. That is your birthdays today. Not a lot of famous birthdays. And today in music history, might as well kind of talk about it since you kickstarted me with the Eagles. In 65 on this date, the Stones started a 4-week run at number 1 on the singles charts with I Can't Get No Satisfaction, their first chart topper in the U.S. In 74 on this date, David Bowie played the first of 5 dates at the Tower Theater in Philadelphia, the recordings of which made up David's live album released later that year. In 68 on this date, Eric Clapton announced that Cream would break up when they completed the tour that they were on. In 94 on this date, Anthrax guitarist Scott Ian married Debbie Levette in Huntington Beach, California. They would divorce 7 years later. Not easy, huh? In 2007, Smashing Pumpkins released their 7th album, Zeitgeist. It's their first record since reuniting in 2005, 5 years after disbanding. In 97, Pretenders singer Chrissy Hine married Lucho Brevia, an artist from Colombia who was 14 years her junior. They divorced 5 years later. Marriage, not easy. In 2012, on this date, legendary guitarist Slash got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. So you got that done. I usually hold that till later on in the program, huh? Zeitgeist is a cool album. Yes, it is. I'm sure you're aware, but get to Canton as early as possible. Remember, you'll be in Browns country. Expect all the Browns fans to come out to see Joe Thomas. It's going to be a fun weekend. Oh, yeah. No, I expect that for sure. I expect that. I mean, we're going to be there for several days, not just Saturday. Friday, we'll be covering an event in the afternoon at 5 o'clock. It's kind of like a fun thing, a fashion show, whatever, with the guys. And then Saturday, we'll be covering a couple of events. And then Sunday, we've got the round table. And then Monday, we'll fly out. But you know what? I did not look to see if there was any concerts in that area during that weekend. Something I actually didn't bother to look. Who knows? I might be able to do a concert on Friday or Saturday night or Sunday night. It's a possibility, man. But I have no idea what's going on in the Cleveland, Canton area that weekend. If there's actually any really good concerts. I have not checked it out. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you spoke about it, but Anthony Duclair trade sucked. Yeah, I saw that. But again, the Rodrigue signing kind of made up for it too at the same time. What can I tell you? You know what I'm saying? Yes, Glenn Fry had a very good solo career. I would say Don Henley slightly better, but definitely Glenn Fry's solo career was really, really good, man. I enjoyed it. It's a shame we lost him, again, way too young, dude. Way too young. And especially for those of you that love the Eagles and their music and you didn't get to see Don Henley and Glenn Fry together, that sucks. That sucks because that was special. The Eagles have been doing their farewell tour for over 20 years. I was lucky to see them in Columbia, South Carolina. Yes. You are correct. Can't argue with that, but I think this is like they're kind of wrapping it up now. It looks like it. And selfishly, like I told you, I'm glad. I recently found a video on YouTube of Deborah Harry singing on the Muppet Show. Man, what a time to be. Yeah. I was screwing around over the weekend and watching Top of the Pops, which is like one of the greatest music shows in the history of television. And it's an English show. And it was on for decades. And from the either late 60s or 70s, whatever, right around then, all the way through. And in one of them that I'm watching, I think it was like maybe 79 or 80, 81 or something. And Elton John is like co-hosting. You know what I mean? It's like, holy crap, Elton John's the co-host on the show for fun, you know, and the acts that they would have there were amazing. Not that most of them actually sung because it was really the record playing, because that's kind of the way they do things in those days. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they could get practically any artist, you know. It's pretty cool show. Every time I go to the Culture Room, it gives me a Top of the Pops feel with the cone roof and the lighting and the way they have things structured, it just gives me a Top of the Pops feel. So for anybody that watches Top of the Pops and you go to the culture room, you might agree with me. I don't know. Maybe you don't. What can I tell you? Oh, man. Anyway, we got some Heat talk coming up. Ira Winderman should be joining us any minute now. He'll join us here at the bottom of the hour. So we'll talk a little Miami Heat. We'll talk a little Summer League. We'll talk, obviously, Damian Lillard, because I'm sure it's just going to be a waiting game now. We just got to kind of wait this thing out and let them figure out how they're going to put this deal together, a deal that you and I and everybody else knows that eventually is going to, well, not everybody. I think people are now coming to that realization. But we had a group of individuals that didn't think that it was going to happen right away, which is kind of crazy. But what can I tell you? Marlins got it done yesterday. They defeated the Phillies. They took 2 of 3. You know, Sean, we like pointing out an MVP, right? Well, why don't we give you our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night?
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
I could give it to De La Cruz, right? I could give it to Yuri Perez. I could give it to Reyes. I could give it to a lot of players that have had an impact for the Marlins, some pitchers that have had some pretty good starts. By the way, it was nice to see Sandy had a nice outing over the weekend. I know he didn't get the decision. That was the game that they lost, but it wasn't his fault. The guy had a good outing, so it's good to see maybe Sandy's kind of getting out of his funk. But let's give Skip Schumacher, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night. You know, maybe the young manager, maybe a new voice, the change. Sometimes it's good, but we're seeing a lot of young guys have success. And there has to be conversations being had. And your manager has to give you, you know, some confidence. And at the same time, he must be, you know, doing a nice job of communicating with these guys and creating an environment that they're having a lot of fun too at the same time. So, you know, we can point at players and it's really easy, right? But let me give Skip Schumacher a little love here because his team is 14 games over 500, the best start in Marlins history. Okay. And whether this is an aberration or this is the real thing or whatever it is, man, it's hard to fake it at 53 and 39. You know, that there's a lot of consistency when you play, what is it? 92 games now at this point. So, you know, let's give Skip Schumacher a little love here. His team is playing really, really well, taking 2 of 3 from the Phillies, who spend a hell of a lot more than they do. The Mets have spent a lot more, and they're trailing, and they're the number 1 wild card. Skip Schumacher is our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
All right. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball. Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right. Good morning, Ira. Hope you had a great weekend. Can you hear us? He's frozen in time. If we can turn back time and get an unfrozen Ira. Oh, he is on the road. That's right. He's in Vegas. So maybe the interwebs there aren't necessarily strong. Let's see. Let's see if we can bring him back. Oh, marble horse of magic white, take me on a wicked flight. I don't know. I tried. What can I tell you? Abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab you. I'm trying. I'm trying everything. Hocus pocus. Nothing is making Ira reappear. Maybe I should call Spo. He is the illusionist. He'll make him reappear. Spo's an illusionist. Oh, there we go. Spo's working. The illusionist. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Can you hear me, Ira? Uh-oh. Yeah. Doesn't look good. It looks like his injury. Where's he staying in Vegas? What kind of a hotel is the Sun Sentinel springing out for? Come on, bro. The Sun Sentinel can't afford a hotel that has a decent internet? Jesus. He is frozen, bro. Ohio John says, as a kid, I was a blind fan and thought Glenn Rice era teams would be title contenders. LOL. Now I wonder if they even had a competitive locker room. I mean, they were competitive, but, they were still, outside of the expansion years and stuff. It wasn't really a team built to, and by the way, you also had the Jordan era going on too. So you had to be really good to get out of that era. Oh, you know what, Sean? Call Ira. Get him on phone-wise. And that's it. That's all we can do. All right. That's what we'll do. We'll get Ira on phone-wise. Okay. There we go. So it's all good. We'll get Sean hooking up with Ira, and we won't have Ira video, so you won't be able to see his beautiful face. So I know most of you will be depressed that you can't see Ira, but you'll be able to hear Ira soon. And that's all that matters. By the way, Orlando Robinson, hell of a performance the other night in the 99-88 win over Boston. Hey, just want to hey, Boston, we own your ass. You're our bitches. Hockey, basketball, doesn't matter, bro. Didn't they beat them in baseball too recently? Didn't they beat up on the Red Sox also? Didn't the Marlins just beat up on the Red Sox? I could have sworn they beat up on the Red Sox. Did they, Sean? Am I wrong? Oh, do we have them? Ira.
I am here, Big O.
There you are.
I am here, Big O. There I am. Yeah. After 3 years of trying to do this, I finally found a hotel without internet that works. So at least it's not you out here for one of your events trying to get the internet to work in Vegas.
Well, we'll see next. In about 2 weeks, I'll be in Canton. We'll see if we can do the whole show from our hotel in Canton. That'll be interesting. But we've been lucky that we've been able to pull it off pretty much every single time. All right, let's get going here. Ira, so how long will this waiting game take? Will this go into August? This trade?
You know what? It could, Big O, because, again, there's not a real game to be played until October. On the other hand, a real team wants to get their work done and out of the way. The Heat are operating professionally through this. Here, we're at the table. This is what we have. Let's negotiate. The Blazers are negotiating from a standpoint of we want everything. And I just don't think the Blazers are as familiar with this type of big move as the Miami Heat. Pat Riley has done these types of moves from the sign and trades from Chris Bosh and LeBron James over the years to acquiring Goran Dragic when he wasn't happy, to the multi-team sign and trade for Jimmy Butler. I'm not so sure that the relatively new, and he admits it, Blazers GM Joe Cronin is really familiar with how to play basketball on this level. And I think that has a lot to do with the delay.
All right, so that's kind of what I felt like, that, this whole process is going to take a while because obviously Joe hasn't been involved in these kind of things. And, it's funny how people were at first like, oh, well, he shouldn't dictate where he goes, and that they should be able to get whatever they can. And yeah, that all sounds well and good in the real world. But unfortunately, we're in the NBA. And in the NBA, players have a ton of control. And you know what, Ira, as a guy that has been a former employee of corporations and has worked for bad ones too at times, I pull for not just because of the Heat thing. It's because he gets to control his own destiny, and he wants to go. He's only got a couple of years left. Well, let me go somewhere where I know they're competent and they know how to do things the right way. And I can't blame him for wanting to join a terrific organization in the Miami Heat.
Yeah. And again, from Damian Lillard's standpoint, if for people who are sort of saying, again, because there's going to be pushback when Damian Lillard joins a winner, please go back over the last 3 years where Joe Cronin 2 years has said, we will do everything possible to get Damian Lillard a contending team. He has said it over and over and over again. So this is not the petulant player who only wants to win. Damian has been patient with that team. They told him before last season, there are quotes out there, there's video out there. They told him at this season's trade deadline, they would get him support. And they told him before the draft, we will get you veteran support. Then they drafted Scoot Henderson, which still might be the right move. But this has been time and time and time again when they failed him. So the outside perspective, Big O, and I'm hearing a lot of this, is this. How dare someone take an extension from a team, pocket his $50 million a year, and then push back against the team? And I would say the extension was taken with the word given from management in Portland that they would surround him with championship-level talent. And God bless Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons, but that's not what in 2023 now gets you to the championship level. That's why the pushback began from Damian Lillard. This is not a guy chasing rings. This is a guy chasing the chance to compete that he feels he's been denied the last 3 or 4 seasons.
What do we know about where Tyler Hero's head is at, unfortunately, because obviously he knows he's going to be shipped one way or another somewhere.
I mean, obviously, I think any player has a sense of pride that how dare you dismiss me. It's funny because I think if you ask, and again, I don't think this is wrong, Tyler Hero, are you better than Damian Lillard? He might tell you, hell yeah, because that's the professional athlete approach of believing they're up to any challenge. So from Tyler's standpoint is, what are you talking about? Remember what they did in the bubble in 2020. Remember that 30-plus point game against the Celtics that helped get us to the NBA Finals. I've been there. I can do it. I've just been hurt the last 2 playoffs. So that's his mentality. You know what? He's a big boy making big money. You get over it. And I do believe this. Yes, away from the court, away from camp and everything else, I'm sure he's very upset. And I can see why, the way his name is out there. But I can tell you, Big O, the mentality in any sport, when the clock starts running and the games start to be played, you are focused and locked in on the moment. So many people are saying, well, they can't possibly bring Tyler back. He won't give it his best effort. These guys are professionals. When the games count, these guys are locked into the moment of getting their points, rebounds, assists, and getting their victory. He'll be fine. It'll be very uncomfortable when the games aren't being played. But you know what? That's part of something you have to deal with also. That's the trade-off you make.
So, Ira, you went a little Oliver Stone on me here with Jaime Jaquez. You think they're trying to hide him?
You know what? And again, I've gotten so much from that. I had so much from ESPN at the start of the game the other day. What's going on? Is he really hurt? If you go back to the Zapruder film, if we're going to Oliver Stone, you can see in Wednesday's game against the Sacramento Kings, he was sandwiched between two players. He grimaced. He hurt his shoulder. You do not take subterfuge to the level that you have him do an MRI just to pretend that he's injured. You need Jaime Jaquez Jr. out there now to play, to get used to it. And Big O, here's the example. Last year, Nikola Jovic was terrific in the California Classic in a couple of games, especially the last one in San Francisco. Then he got hurt. He took a knee bruise in the first game against the Celtics here in Las Vegas and wasn't the same player. And I honestly think the missed time in Summer League retarded his growth as a rookie. Jaime Jaquez could use these games. The Heat aren't playing games if he's traded, if he might be traded. They want him on the court, but he's injured, and it's a real injury. You can't get Caron Butler, the summer coach, Jaime Jaquez, the rookie, the team's medical staff also wink about this. If the Blazers want Jaime Jaquez in the deal, honestly, Big O, they'll probably get him. Again, my thought is this. Anyone but Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler are available. But it doesn't mean that everyone is available. It doesn't mean they can get everyone, but at least all these players will be offered. How much do you want? Who do you want? And I think Jaime Jaquez will be in there.
Okay, so, but either way, if Jaquez stays or Jovic stays or Jamal Cain or whoever is here, the thing is, after that trade, what's left will play a lot in the preseason anyway, because there's not going to be a lot left. So what's left will get playing time. So if Jaquez is left over and some of the time he missed here, he'll make up for some of it in the preseason, because they're going to have to play some of those young guys in the preseason because their roster isn't going to be as full as it is right now.
I agree. You know what, Big O? I'm going to actually offer this up to you, and you can discuss it later in a show if you want. To me, there are 3 trade pods that come together, make a Damian Lillard deal. It's almost like drawing for the World Cup, okay? So in pot number 1 are Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, and Duncan Robinson. For salary purposes, 2 of those 3 have to be included. Again, so what Portland wants, what the Heat want. In pot number 2 are Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. I believe the Heat would be willing to part with one, would have second thought or at least reserve thought if they have to give up 2 of them. They're not giving up all 3. So again, if you're Portland, between Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez, and Nikola Jovic, you're going to get one of them. Portland is saying we want at least 2 of them. That's the part of it. In pot number 3 are draft choices. The Heat have a way to maneuver the pick they owe to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Heat can offer 1, 2, or 3 first-round draft choices. I think the Heat want to limit it to 2. I think the Blazers want 3. So I think that's where we are. Each of those pots that you're drawing at her for a Lillard trade, of course the Blazers want it all. But you know what the Heat are saying, Big O? Show us you have another offer from another team. We are not going to bid against ourselves. And I think that's what it is right now. Because, Big O, for all the stuff and bluster you've heard of other teams getting involved, there has not been a single tangible trade talk compilation from another team that we've heard about beyond the Miami Heat. And Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg and Adam Simon and Nick Harrison would be foolish to be bidding against themselves. So they're probably saying, okay, Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry, boom, pot A, you can have that. From pot B, just take 1 player. You can't have 2. And you know what? We'll start with 1 draft choice, but because we're such good guys, maybe we'll give you a second first-round pick also. And they're telling the Portland Trailblazers this. Show us a better offer. And Big O, we haven't seen a better offer from anywhere.
Yeah, no, and thanks to Lillard's agent, who has just completely, put out all those fires. So he's done his job. So let me ask you a convoluted, twisted, complicated question that could have a lot of layers to it, or forget about it. They could have cast it aside and say, you could tell me no way it happens, and the repercussions from it impossible. Oh, here we go. Will they want to say, okay, all right, you guys won Lillard, right? Well, now you're going to have to take Jurkic off our books. So if you want your this big ass salary, you want to get your championship, you now need to take this cumbersome salary off of us. Now, the good side to all of this, the bad side, of course, is all the taxes that Mickey would have to pay. Okay, fine. But the good side of some of this is they won't be able to get as much as they want on the young side. Miami can then pull back and say, yeah, no, sorry, dude. No, we're not giving you Jokic and Jaime. No, if you want us to take Jokic, well, now we're going to give you a little less because you're making us take a bad salary in its place. So will that be in play? And what could be the positive and negative repercussions of Jokic coming this way?
I have no problem with Jokic because I kind of like a big bruising body also. When you look at the Heat centers right now, Bam is what I've spoken about. Bam is sort of a power forward, so he's not a true center. Thomas Bryant really is more of a 4 than a 5. He's not a center. God bless Orlando Robinson, but he's still a neophyte. So you know what? I would take Nurkic, and then I'd say, you know what? You're taking all 3 players from Pod A. You're taking Robinson, you're taking Hero, and you're taking Kyle Lowry. You know what? You're only getting 1 player from Pod B, and we're going to tell you who you're taking, and maybe you're only getting 1 draft choice then. I wouldn't have an issue with that because while you're taking on Jurkic's salary, you're then losing Duncan Robin's salary for the same time. That's sort of a wash. Then you go out and you go, hello, Danny Green. We know you're old, but we know you still can shoot. We're going to sign you for the minimum. Hop aboard. And you still can find Javonte Green, other players to be your shooters and work around it that way. So Nurkic isn't a deal breaker in my perspective.
Okay. All right. I love it then because I thought, and it's exactly what I thought, that if you take that salary on, you save yourself getting hit on all the young guys. Now you give up less of young guys. So we agree. We kind of, okay, we're on the same page. All right. So apparently Orlando Robinson, I watched it the other night, and the other Big O in town blew up 36 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. He shot 3 of 4 from 3-point range. So, and from what I understand, Bam has kind of been the guy that's taking him under his wing, right?
Yeah, you know, Bam likes him. I'm still not sold that he's ready because, again, Big O, you were out here last year. Summer League is still Summer League. But as an ongoing project, I have no issue with Orlando Robinson. And what I think I would do is this. If the Nurkic deal comes through and you wind up with Bam, Nurkic, and Thomas Robinson as your centers, I might put Orlando Robinson back on a 2-way contract. Keep him under my purview, still have him belonging to the team, can play him up to 50 games, give him another season. Thomas Bryant is on a 1-year deal with a player option after. You can move off of that. Or honestly, if Jurkic doesn't work out, you can put him into a trade and make that money work down the road. So I like him in their orbit. I need to see a little bit more. I'm not sure he's a component for Bam Adebayo, but you know what? I would not have any issue if Bam misses, let's say, 8 to 10 games next season to start Orlando Robinson, get him in his foul trouble, so what, and have him play those games. It's just another guy that's on the Heat development program. Might take a little bit longer, but there was nothing about that game when you watched it on Thursday that didn't tell you anything but, hey, this guy could be something. Let's keep the work going.
Okay, so here's my question. If Bam is mentoring him, can Orlando mentor Bam on 3-point shooting?
You know what? It's interesting. I'm gonna go away from you on this, and I know where you're going. That today's modern center has to have range and open the defense. But here's the deal: the Heat are still a small team.
Ira, hold on. Deep down inside, we're all pissed off because we all know Bam has the stroke. We all know Bam has the ability that if he felt like it, he could drown you with 16-footers. And if he felt like it, he put it on the floor and dunk on your ass. And if he damn felt like it, he could learn how to be one hell of a 3-point shooter. That's the only reason. If Bam was a goofball and didn't look good and was an awkward shot or all that kind of stuff, then we could all understand it. But because he's so fluid, because he looks so damn good. I'm watching Orlando Robinson. I'm going, dude, how come Bam can't do this? Why can't he shoot from three? Because, dude, I was very impressed with Orlando Robinson shooting threes. He looked comfortable, Ira, shooting those threes.
He did. I'm still not sure. The point I was trying to make, I want Bam floating on the perimeter on offense if I'm going to remain a smallish team. That's the problem, is I still think you need the offensive board. You need someone playing closer to the rim. The Heat really don't have a post-up guy. Jimmy posts up a little bit, but I'm just not so sure. It's bad enough that Bam is chasing guards on the defensive ends and switching everything. So, yes, could he do it? Sure. Does he have the stroke to do it? Absolutely. Could it be another weapon in his arsenal? No question. But you know what? If I'm a small team and I'm playing him with a Caleb Martin at the 4, for example, I think I'd rather keep him a little bit closer to the rim if I could on both ends, because this Heat team, even with Damian Lillard, still will be height challenged. So I think you have to look at it that way. Could he do it? Sure. Might it be an interesting novelty? Absolutely. But Bam Adebayo hanging out in the corner on offense, man, you are really small and you ain't getting no offensive rebounds.
By the way, you've mentioned them a couple times. Your boy Drew Smith, he had a little too many turnovers, but he played a solid game the other night on Saturday.
Yeah, and the thing is, if the Heat trade both Hero and Lau, they don't have a single point guard on the roster beyond Damian Lillard, and you're going to need cheap help. So even on his two-way, he can contribute there. But that's the thing is, and it's interesting because the best options at point guard, arguably right now on the market, would be Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn. So you might see a Heat alumni to Drew Smith coming back, whether it's Dragic, whether it's Kendrick Nunn, because if you ship out Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry, you're going to have to sign at least one more point guard. But it will be nice to have the security of a Drew Smith knowing, hey, on a two-way contract, you can still give us 50 games if we need it.
Let me ask you, what do you think about my boy Jamal Cain? I've been a Jamal Cain fan since last summer league. What do you think about the kid? Have you seen any improvement in him so far?
Yeah, I like his athleticism. I think he's, at worst, I think he'll wind up in a two-way contract. I think he could get what Orlando Robinson has, which is a standard deal with a limited guarantee, depending on how the Heat go with our roster. Here's the deal, Big O. We just mentioned, it looks like a Lillard trade could send out multiple players for a single player. You will have roster spots to fill. I like him. I need to see more of a consistent three-point shot because you know who he is? And it's funny because this guy was actually watching from courtside the other day and I spoke to him. I want him to become Keith Askins. I want him to become good enough with the corner three that he's a threat, and I want him to D up so Jimmy Butler doesn't have to be the only defensive perimeter guy, maybe Josh Richardson a little also. So I think what I want to see from Jamal Cain, the remainder of these summer league games, at least 4 more games here in Vegas, is start stroking the three. Make yourself a threat that other teams have to guard. If he can become a 3 and D player, yeah, I think he can easily extend his Heat playing future.
I don't know if you know something that you can say or you can't say about this guy, but I'm confused as hell. Why the hell is Christian Wood still out there? I think he has a world of talent. I think if he was in a Heat uniform, he would play terrific basketball. And he's considered like a bottom ringer guy in your roster. What has Christian Wood done behind the scenes that he possesses talent but is not appreciated apparently?
Doesn't play a lick of defense and doesn't seem motivated to play defense. Has shown some dog in his game to get him to practice and work hard. Sort of everything that a Heat player isn't, Big O. And other teams have noticed it also. There was a really good stat last year that when Christian Wood played over 20 minutes a game, Dallas only won 20% of those games. He actually hurt the Mavericks when he was on the court. I agree with you. What I saw from him early in his career, even a little bit in Houston as well, there's something there. So here's the question. If you bring him into the Miami Heat, do you do what you did with Anthony Mason and so many other players and you resurrect? Or does he pollute your locker room? I think that's why teams are holding off. And here's the deal, Big O. It's not just a Heat thing. Any team in the NBA, probably for the minimum, could have signed Christian Wood by now. but
Yeah.
happen. So it's not just the Heat; it's the other teams also. You know what? When you get the tag of being a dog in this league,
Right.
not a lot of teams like the Heat are willing to take a chance. I think that's the problem right now. I don't know if the Heat, with so many young players, if they keep Jovic, if they keep Hawkins, if they keep Kane, if they keep Robinson, want that kind of element in their locker room as well. It's a shame because he has skills. He's probably as skilled as any he big man would be outside of Bam, but it's the other part of the equation.
No, and I know it has nothing to do with the Heat. That's why I started the question with what's the dirt? What's going on? Because you can't be this God-given gifted and then you're just like casted aside like you're nothing, bro. You're being treated like you're Hassan Whiteside. That's how you're being treated. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a guy that you're not taken serious. That's Christian Wood. You're not being taken serious, dude.
And someone gave me that exact name. So that's a very good name for you to draw on that because that's what they're saying. It's another Hassan. So you know what? If you're a bad team and you need numbers because you got to fill a box score, you add guys like that. But when the Heat got back into championship mode, Hassan Whiteside was the first guy that shipped out because you don't want to do that in your locker room. You don't want to have a guy who grabs the box score first and looks at his numbers instead of if the team won. It's a shame, but I think it's very telling that here we are approaching mid-July and Christian Wood, even at the minimum, hasn't signed anywhere. You're spot on that.
It is criminal that guy is wasting his talent because the Lord gave him some serious gifts and he is absolutely ruining it, dude. What a I knew there was some going on because there's no way you can have that kind of talent. You're just sitting there at this point in the offseason. All right, what do you got going on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Well, you know what, Big O? He still have 2 open roster spots. And like I mentioned, if they make a Lillard deal, they'll probably have 3, maybe 4 open roster spots. So I listed everyone who's available, and I had some fun with it. There actually is a complete Miami Heat reunion roster you could bring back. There are guys out there like Goran Dragic, Kendrick Nunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Marquise Morris, and the list goes on. Hell, KZ Okpala's out there. And here in Las Vegas, Dion Waiters is doing tryouts, trying to get back into the league. So basically, beyond that also, I listed all the possibilities. If he needs another point guard, here are the options out there. If they want another power player, there are some quality power players out there. Right now, there are 2 open roster spots. The question becomes, or did the Heat do it internally? Do they keep guys from their summer league team? Does Jamal Cain get a standard contract? Does Drew Smith get changed from his 2-way deal? Does Drew Peterson, the USC undrafted forward 3-point shooter, who has started every summer league game for the Heat, get a chance? So it's going to be interesting to see how they fill out the roster. There's menu A without Lillard. There's menu B with Lillard, but the Heat still have 3 or 4 openings. So they're still going to be keeping an eye on the market, and there's going to be tryouts probably throughout the balance of the summer.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat, and make sure you subscribe to the Sun Sentinel like I and many others do. Ira, enjoy Vegas. We'll catch up later in the week, my friend.
All right, we'll catch you next time with video also. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. Thank you. There you go. Ira Winderman. Hopefully next week he'll have some video. That is your Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. I'm serious, man. What a shame with Christian Wood. What a shame, dude. That kid is gifted, and I'm reading last night that the Lakers may sign him like the 15th guy on the roster, and it's a steal if the lazy bastard actually wants to wake up. What a shame. Serious talent, man. I mean, some people, listen, it's hard to find for you young people out there. Let me explain something to you that is normal. You know, it's normal that you're in your teens, maybe even early 20s, and you're trying to figure out where you belong in life. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? Because it's some people figure out what they want to do as a career right away. God bless them. And they know from when they're 14, 16, 18 years old, by the time they get to college, or maybe they go right into the workforce because what they want to do, they don't necessarily need, college. Whatever it is, you have your dream, you have your target, you shoot for it, and you go for it, right? And sometimes it takes a while, right? But for all of us out there, we all got to find our niche in life, and we struggle with it. But those of you that do have it, look at a Christian Wood. Maybe he doesn't really want to be a basketball player, and maybe that's why the effort's not there. But there's no doubt that he was gifted. This guy can be an all-star, Christian Wood. That's the kind of talent that this guy has. He has all-star talent. And if you saw him the first couple of years in the league, he was headed in that direction. And to see how he has just gone by the wayside, he really needs a Heat organization. The question is, does he have it in him? See, the Heat will bring it out of you, but it's got to be up to you to also make the commitment. And apparently that's why I asked him that way, because there's no reason Christian Wood should be available in free agency. None. But if you're available at this point, it's because there's something wrong with your professionalism. And clearly he lacks professionalism, because there's no way that guy should be available. But he's one of those guys that if the Heat got him and he wanted to do his part, that he could make him an all-star. Like, that's a stud sitting out there. Now, he may not look at himself that way, and that's a shame. Really is. So, and I'm kind of rooting for the Nurkic thing. So he was, that's why I wanted to get Ira on to see if I'm a little off on this. But I felt like, okay, we'll take on the Nurkic thing, and you'll be able to unload some salary, but at the same time, you also will save some of your young guys instead of giving up more of your young guys. And that might be the way that this guy may go. Okay, well, if I'm going to unload Lillard, let me unload Nurkic now. And actually, that would give them a big man. That would help out. It's not too bad. Brian says, not Heat related, but has anyone checked out Wemby's second summer league game? That dude is very well rounded already and will be developed. Of course, man. He's just skinny. I forgot to get into the Wemby conversation with Ira, because I did want to ask him, because obviously the overreaction the first game because he sucked, and then the last game he was terrific. He had 27 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. The only thing I worry about Wemby, there's one thing that I worry about, and it's a question I have. How durable will he be, and how tough is he? I'll give you the example. Tayshaun Prince. Tayshaun Prince came out of, God, I forgot what school was it. I want to say it was like an ACC school. Was it? Was Tayshaun Prince like in Duke or North Carolina?
Duke,
right? It was Duke, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So when he came out, okay, I liked him as a basketball player in college. I did not like him translating to the NBA. Do you know why? Dude, that guy was skinny. Like Wemby. Like really skinny. And I was like, oh my God, how is this guy going to stay healthy? I would be very afraid of drafting this kid. And he fell to, I want to say 21st, 25th pick or something like that.
It was Kentucky, actually.
Kentucky. Okay. But it was a blue blood. Okay. Kentucky. Do you remember what number of the draft was he? Does it say there? I want to say it was in the 20s. Early to mid 20s. I want to say.
To the Celtics.
What did I say? What was it?
21 to the Celtics.
I could have sworn I said 21 first when I just said it now. But anyway, so I remember when they drafted him, and I was dead wrong on this kid. Like, I liked him as a basketball player, but I hated his body. I go, oh, this guy won't last in the NBA. And one of the things I learned about Tayshaun Prince was he was one of the toughest basketball players I had ever seen in my life. he was actually durable for being, considering how skinny he was, and he filled out a little bit more and all that, but he was a tough hombre. So he was one of those guys that could actually, take a couple hits that you didn't think he could take, and then he proved that he could be pretty durable, and he turned out to be a decent player and had a solid career. And so that's the question I have for Wemby. How tough, how durable is he? Because he's skinny as hell. So he's going to take hits now. So will he bounce back from those hits, or will he break down Ralph Sampson style? Okay? That's the question. Will he break down? I don't know. Will he wear down? Because of his body so long, and he's going to run, but he's got crazy-ass skills. Dribbling, shooting, passing, great vision. He blocks three-point shots. He's not just a shot blocker in the paint. He's a shot blocker in the perimeter. So he's got all the gifts. I have the Tayshaun Prince question. Since I lived that one and failed it, now I want to see, that's what I have now. So I'm not going to say that he's not going to make it through the NBA as skinny as he is, because a lot of people have said that. And I'm not going to say it because I lived through Tayshaun Prince. And I didn't think Tayshaun Prince could handle it. And boy, he turned out to be one of the toughest players I've ever seen in my life. Okay? So that's my question for Wemby, is the same one I had for Tayshaun Prince. But this time, I'm not going to assume what I did with Tayshaun Prince where I was wrong. And I said, yeah, I don't think he's going to last. I don't think so. Too skinny. So we'll see. Big O, is around the NBA segment coming back? No, probably not. Not right now, at least. Not right now. Maybe down the line, a couple months from now. Daniel, do you want to sponsor it? You want to pay for it, Daniel? That's usually where I get the people to shut up. I always thought, hey, Marlins are hot. You should bring on an insight. Okay, you want to sponsor it? And then the guy just shuts the hell up. You guys know this is a business, right? Right? This is a business. It's not I'm not in mom's basement. I'm not doing YouTube for fun or anything like that. It's a business. Okay? So, Daniel Marquez, you got a business? You want to sponsor the Around the NBA segment? Let's go. Give me a ring. 786-754-4664. That's our business line. If your business wants to sponsor our segments and our insiders, you're more than welcome. We'll add an Around the NBA segment, sponsor it. We'll add a Marlins segment, sponsor it. We'll add a Messi segment, sponsor it. They don't come on once a week or twice a week for free. They don't sit there for an hour to talk the NBA for free. So, Daniel Marquez, you got the money? I am broke. Bueno, habla mierda entonces, chico. I love the people that talk a lot of crap. Hey, bring this. Bueno, papa, paga. Let's go. You think this is free? You think this is a joke? I love the people that want to request, and then you don't bring shit to the table. You got to step up like essential moving experts. Yeah, it's really easy to ask and ask and ask. Produce, bro. Let's go. Durant was pretty skinny as a rookie too. Yeah, you are correct, sir. You are correct. Prince with the track down block of Reggie Miller in the playoffs was legendary. Yeah, he was, dude. Tayshaun Prince, like he smacked my ass down, bro. Like, CO, you're full of shit, bro. I'm tough. I can last. I'm a good player. I never doubted his ability. I did doubt his availability, is what I did. We can crowdfund, sponsor things, Orlando. Yeah. That's got to come in, and it's got to be every month that everybody does it and all that. It's a little bit more complicated. It can't be all about the money. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Everything's about money. You think I paid for plane tickets yesterday for free? You think I paid for a hotel and we're going to pay for a car? Yeah, everything, every goddamn thing is about money. Everything. Okay? So if you guys want a show that will go to Canton, to the Las Vegas Summer League, to the Senior Bowl, to the Combine, the shit that QAM will never cover, the shit that broke-ass QAM will never cover, you know what I'm saying? This isn't free. None of this is free. Sean doesn't work for free. He's not doing this for fun. I mean, he and I have fun doing this, but we're not doing it for fun. If I win Mega Millions, I'll be your sole sponsor. Yeah. Well, if I had wheels, I'd be a bicycle. Jonathan Jensen goes, I mean, he was just asking, not talking crap. He doesn't know what you got in the works, Big O. Jonathan, I get asked all the time. Hey, you're going to bring back this, Sam? You're going to bring that? And it's like, yo, bro, you guys think this is not, there are sponsors here. This is real. This is a business. So it's not a joke. And that's why every time one of you asks like that, I say, well, then step up. Because it's easy to ask and then you don't realize what the hell is actually going on. So now a lot of you got the wake-up call like, oh, yeah, no, it's actually a business. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I watch Slapdick on YouTube because he's a fan and just talks a lot of shit. Okay, great. It's fantastic. But they have no insight. They bring nothing to the table. It's like some dude over the weekend, I put out the Dalvin Cook thing. And he goes, the YouTube guy gets it right. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm a little bit more than just a YouTube guy. Let's see. Oh, with Dame, what's your championship window? 1 or 2 years. That's it. This year, next year. That's it. I don't think it's open after that. I think you're done after that because I don't think Jimmy even lasts 3 years. I'm terrified of Jimmy Butler's body moving forward, to be quite honest. He's got a lot of wear and tear. That's why Dame is so important. To take that pressure off him so he doesn't have to carry the damn team all the time. Ian from Brooklyn says, yo, Big O, miss you, bro. Can't listen every day as usual, but you're the man in sports, period. Thank you, Ian from Brooklyn. Appreciate you. Gordon says, money is representation of labor, and nobody likes to give their labor away for free. The bills don't pay themselves. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let's see. Can't wait to hear what Orlando's going to tell us before anybody else today. He knows everything. Nobody knows more than Orlando. Well, there's a lot of people that know more than me, but I know, Nelson, that you don't know 1/100th, 1/1,000,000th of what I know. That I know. I know you are completely full of shit. That I know. But you could go ahead and continue to watch and take your shots all you want. It's all right, bro. Just because I took your ass to task because you gave me some bullshit about Dalvin Cook because you think you're an insider, and I crushed your ass because you're not an insider. You're just a fan. That's all, bro. And just be a fan. Don't act like what you're not. You're not an insider. You don't know jack shit. You have no insight. Okay? That's all. But if your ass wants to stay butthurt about that and continue to take shots at me, go ahead, my brother. Doesn't matter. You're the one watching. I'm the one talking. You're the one following. I'm the one leading. So stay watching. I'll stay leading. It's all good, brother. That's it. Next time, just be a fan. Don't act like you know more, especially not more than me. That's for damn sure. That I know. I may not know more than a lot of people, but I know a hell of a lot more than you ever will. Period. End of story. Miami Breaker 305. Thank you for the love on the super chat. Says Alexis, raise money to get Big O and Marlins Insider. There you go. Big O, I need to go with you for Dolphins hat shopping. You find all the gems, trying to find a 98 to 2012 logo. Don't have one. Also saw Indiana Jones this week. The film was not bad. 4 or 5. Holy shit. You just watched Indiana Jones now for the first time? Holy crap. Well, maybe you're young. That's right. So it's understandable.
I think he's talking about the new one.
Oh, God. Really? Oh, see, I wouldn't go watch the new one because the last one was so bad. I can't take a chance. By the way, what is the scouting report? Apparently, Anthony Campos saw the new one. Is that true? Is the new one, like, passable? Big O, do you think Connor or Higgins contribute this year? Maybe 300 yards. McDaniel clearly wants a flex tight end type that can rack. Sorry, Gesicki, because he tried to get one involved the last 2 years. You know what, Fins Up? I can't answer that until I see them in training camp in the preseason. So let me see what kind of impact those guys can make first and foremost, because that experiment may not even make it to the regular season. Neither guy may make it on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what happens first, because I don't know enough about Higgins. And I can tell you the other guy is definitely not ready yet from what I saw. So he has to show me a lot here in training camp for the preseason that he's turned the corner. Let's see. I know Big O finds half of presidents boring, and it's a good time to take a nap. Oh, the Hall of Presidents boring. Yes. Yeah, the Hall of Presidents is a great place to sleep. I've told you that before. Hall of Presidents, once you've been in it a whole bunch of times, it's the best place to sleep. So is Filler Magic. And the best about Filler Magic is they wake you up at the end with the smell and the water, and you're like, okay, there, and I'm ready to go. And then they eliminated it, but in Epcot, the energy, remember with Ellen and what is it, Bill Nye, the science guy, my friends, that right there, that was a great place to sleep also. It's a couple of rides, bro. You know what GE, now is the time. Now is the best time. I mean, listen, I'm sorry if some of you can't be honest like I am, that you get tired as hell walking around. The sun drains your ass. And there happens to be a couple of rides that I've been known to kind of zap out on for a couple of minutes. And you walk out like re-energized, ready to walk for another 10 minutes. Don't waste your money on the new Indiana Jones, Big O. Well, thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, bro. Brett is saying, I'll talk to you later. Don't want to hear it again tonight. If this experiment with those two doesn't work, I definitely think McDaniel takes a tight end like that early in the draft next year. He really wants that type of, well, if it's there, yeah. They wanted one this year badly, and he just didn't make it to the pick. Okay? He just didn't make it to the pick. So What can I tell you? But they had somebody targeted. And unfortunately, it just, it didn't happen. It didn't last. So, what can I tell you? But apparently, he is tearing it up in the camp that he was in. So you've got 244 people watching. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Anybody have any idea who do you think they were targeting? Oh man. By the way, how's the market doing? Because I don't think it was starting off well when I checked early in the morning. Bitcoin's still strong. It's staying right above 30,000, which is impressive. Very impressive. Market, unfortunately, let's see. Dow's not too bad, over 100 points. S&P's down just under 2%, or 2 points, that is. NASDAQ is barely up a quarter of a point. So, all right, it's not too bad for the markets. Markets are pretty good. Gotta like that. By the way, folks, do want to remind you, Essential Moving Experts, since the billboard is there, Sean Williams, great people, folks. Well over 1,700 happy customers have said, hey, we love Essential Moving Experts and our experience. Call them, 386-213-4054. I tell you all the time, long moving services, home moving services, long distance, office relocation. And listen, they do a lot of great stuff. One of the things that they do that they offer to all their customers, maybe you're moving your home or your business, but where you're moving to, it's not ready for another week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They can hold your goods up to a whole month on the house at their warehouse. So if you're moving from Georgia to Kentucky or Kentucky to California, and hey, man, our new home isn't ready for another month, they can stash it at their home base and then deliver the goods to California when it's ready a month later. And that's what you love about Essential Moving Experts, folks. Sean Williams and the boys. Flat rates, no surprise charges. They practice safe and efficient loading and unloading practices all the time, folks. Go onto the website. You can make an appointment at support@movinghelpdesk.com, or better yet, call them 386-213-4054. Their home offices are in Daytona, Florida, but they service all of the country. So call Sean Williams. Tell him that Big O sent you. Big Dolphins fan. As you can see, the business is in Dolphins colors. Again, 386-213-4054 for essentialmovingexperts.com. Big O, you coming to Dolphins training camp? Yes, I'll be there at Dolphins training camp most of the days. Obviously, a couple of the days that Sean and I are going to be at Canton, we won't be there, obviously, because we'll be with Zach and getting there we go. We're back. Okay. So Sean deserves to get into the hall, but, I don't know if they're going to vote him in this time around. They should. The voters should put in, we're there covering Zach. They should, might as well. He's there. How many times are you going to be able to do that? Steven says, I'm putting this on paper. Oh, mark it down. Ohtani to the Marlins at the deadline. Let's go, Kim. Make it happen. Tubes were great live. So much energy. Yes, they are good live. You're correct.
Speaking of Kentucky, where is Florida-born, Kentucky-grown lately? Yeah, where is he? I don't know. I haven't seen him. Maybe it's a football thing. We have a lot of listeners that kind of disappear. Downloaders, viewers, whatever, and they kind of disappear during the off season. And then they just come back. There are some people that just want to hear football talk and they don't want to hear anything else. You know what I mean? So, and that's kind of the weird part of this show, that we talk about everything. Marlins, by the way, take 2 of 3 from the Phillies. They're 53-39. I like Greg Cody personally. Really nice guy. Okay. Once in a while, he has the sports opinions that for me are whack. I'll tell you right off the bat. Okay. I like him personally. Really nice guy. So this has nothing to do with anything personal whatsoever. But I think he had a ridiculous column today talking about how the Marlins are playing well, but it still doesn't help attendance. That attendance is up a little bit, but still you're only better than the A's or whatever. And my problem with that ridiculous article is the Marlins have won for what, half a season? And they've been screwing the public for what, 20 years now? Yeah, I'm enjoying the Marlins, but we don't know if Bruce Sherman is really committed to winning. We have no idea. This is a fan base that's been screwed over and over and over again. The fact that more people are at least going to the ballpark is a good sign for them. But, basically Greg Cody is the guy that's married to a woman that's been cheating on him like crazy. And then he says, oh, that's it, I'm done. She says, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Even though she's cheated on him like 100 times. And he says, oh, okay, no problem. The Marlins are that woman that we don't trust yet. Yeah, you're looking sexy. Yeah, you started working out again. You got your curves back. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. You're working out the cellulite. Great. You're getting a tan. Oh, you're getting your abs back. Oh, delicious. Now what are you going to do? You're going to stay loyal? Or now that you look good, you're going to get a divorce and you're going to go somewhere else? I'm glad that the town is not stupid enough to just go back to the baseball park and pack it with 30,000 every night. The Marlins haven't earned that yet. Bruce Sherman hasn't earned that yet. And I get it. It's a year-round thing, so you've got to fill space. Dalvin Cook doesn't want to sign. What's it called? The Marlins are not getting the response in attendance. Did the Dolphins make a mistake not bringing back Teddy Bridgewater, like Omar wrote this weekend? I'm like, boy, this is some reaching ass shit in the offseason. And Greg Cody, you are reaching for some shit in the offseason if you think that South Florida is supposed to be packing the place. Marlins haven't earned that just because they've played well for half a season. We don't even know if they're going to keep players around. We don't even know if they're going to add to the players that they have now. Then maybe they can start earning people's trust. My God, we're going to talk about, oh, we should have brought back Teddy Bridgewater. Like, when was he the answer last year? And then, oh, well, Dalvin Cook won't sign with Dalvin Cook won't sign with anybody. So this is the offseason where we're going to write a bunch of shit or talk about it just to fill space. Not that there's any substance to it, but let's just do it just to fill space. And to me, Greg Cody's column today was just filling space. Because South Florida should not be filling up the park. Not for a couple of years until you've actually proven that you're willing to bring everybody back and you're re-signing people and you're adding and you're trying to compete. We don't know that yet. You're an upstart right now. That doesn't mean you're ready to compete because people are going to want to get paid. Are you going to pay a raise? Because you're going to have to pay them a lot of money. All right, let's do it. Let's switch gears. Let's talk to David Furones and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on a Big O radio show.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is David Furones. So Dalvin Cook won't sign with the Dolphins? So, is he signing with anybody?
Not right now. not at what's being offered everywhere. And I listened to your show, Big O. I think it was the Saturday show. You talked about the running back market and made some great analogies with it too. Really loved it. But I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth right now. No one's willing to pay that much for a running back, and not at this stage either. When teams already had their first wave of spending in the free agency market this cycle, and really, even when they did, I mean, the Giants didn't do it with Saquon Barkley. We know the Raiders' Josh Jacobs situation. I'm missing at least one other one. But
Aaron Jones has been awesome for Green Bay, and they turned to him and said, brother, if you don't cut 17 to 11, we're going to release you. And Aaron Jones and his agent, which is something that Dalvin Cook and his agent, which is what I talked about on Saturday, I think those guys are shell-shocked. I think those guys didn't understand the market, don't understand what's going on with running backs, whereas Aaron Jones and his agent, even though they've been fantastic for Green Bay and they've been loyal and they've been productive and all that, they looked at each other and said, we're not going to get 11 million on the open market. So let's take this 11 million and be happy. And I think Dalvin Cook and his agent, remember when he first got cut, he said, oh, maybe I'll sign for a year somewhere, and then I'll prove myself, and then they'll give me, the bigger contract. Or when he got released, he also, I want a team that wants me and wants me to be the main guy and he's delusional. There are no main guys anymore. It's all groups of running backs now. Nobody's overcommitting to running backs anymore. I think there's some shell shock in the Cook camp right now, and I think that's what's going on with him and his agent, to be quite honest. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right. And there's very few, like you said, lead back, bell cow backs. I mean, maybe Derrick Henry's probably still one of the few that we have in this league. It's not like early 2000s when, he had the Priest Holmes of the world that were getting just a ton of carries, Sean Alexander's and LaDainian Tomlinson's and all that. No, it's been by committee. And it's interesting the way fantasy football has altered with that too, because you used to just – everyone had to draft those right off the bat because of how much activity they got.
So we would stay away from the New England running backs because they were the carousel. We were like, oh, dude, you can't draft a New England running back because it'll screw you in fantasy. Go get a bell cow. Well, guess what? Now everybody's doing what New England's been doing for years.
Except kind of when they had Corey Dillon that for a brief period of time. Yeah, that was a little exception.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, different day and age right now. And, I mean, if he went into the Dolphins situation, then he would split a lot of touches. There's a lot of backs back there that need to get those touches between Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson. They drafted Devon Achane in the third round for a reason, and he's going to be present in the pass game as well, something else that Dalvin Cook can do. So, and this is still an offense that needs to get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle the ball a lot.
Yes, exactly. And it's a pass first league, not a run first league anymore. That's just the way it is nowadays. You pass to then run. Unfortunately, that's just the way things have. It's kind of like, the Heat had an amazing run, but part of the reason why they weren't amazing during the regular season was they couldn't do what you needed to excel in this league was the 3-point game. They couldn't get the chunk plays like you need in football. And then all of a sudden in the playoffs, they were able to get the chunk plays. They started hitting the 3-pointer like they never did during the regular season. And to me, that's what I think has happened, that we have media members, we have fans, and maybe we have some players that haven't adjusted to what's really happening in today's game. And this is why many times over we've explained you can't overpay for the guy, because you're not paying for a bell cow. So why would you pay for a bell cow? You know what I mean? So if he's going to be part of 3 other guys and it's going to be a rotation of 4, there's no reason to offer a lot of money. And that's where I think, the Dolphin offer might be, let's say, for shits and giggles, it might be somewhere in the 4.5 range, and he might be getting 5.5, 6 from other places. So it's the difference when you take out the state taxes and moving and your agent and all that. It's just not worth it. And I think the Dolphins, I got to say, have managed this masterfully, because they know he desperately wants to be here in the end, right? He's trying to use, the agent's trying to use others as leverage, but deep down inside, Dalvin Cook is pissed that the Dolphins won't even come close to what probably is being offered by New York.
Right. That's what he wants. I think he showed his cards. He has throughout this process that the Dolphins were always the hot team, that the one that was sort of pitched in the media, that this is where he could potentially go, where there's mutual interest. And now sort of maybe backed into a corner a little bit, but everything else seems to be sort of that leverage move to try to still work his way into a better deal here. So I think, he really values a return to South Florida. And then maybe trying to use the Jets. Hey, well, if you don't give him what he wants, then he'll potentially hurt you in a division rival. And now we did see how that went with the Miami Hurricanes. He torched the Hurricanes for years when he went to Florida State. But so you don't want that. An angry Dalvin Cook can get some revenge on his hometown team. But at the end of the day, then you got to do what's best for you. And I think Chris Greer has shown a lot of prudence and discipline in this whole process.
3 straight weeks. Drew Rosenhaus is on Channel 7. In fact, this week that the tease was about Damian Lillard. God, they teased him. Oh, well, we're going to ask Drew about Damian Lillard. And they kind of twisted it like some of his clients that have kind of wanted to go somewhere or something like that. And so all that, but he stayed away from the Tyreek Hill situation. What do we know, bro? What are we hearing here? What's going on, David?
I think still just the investigation continues. Really, mum has been the word so far. So I think one day we'll hear something from, whether it's the state attorney's office, maybe NFL has done its own investigation, reviewed tape, and determined something. But I think the sides want to get this out of the way pretty soon here, because you don't want to still be talking about it. We don't want every single appearance that I'm making twice a week still Tyreek Hill incident. We don't know anything yet. We haven't had any update, and you don't want that spilling into training camp. So I think just let's find out. Let's get something on this and just figure out what the reality is, whether he's going to be suspended a game or not, and just so that everyone can move forward.
A buddy of mine called me over the weekend and asked me, bro, isn't he going to kind of buy his way out of something like this? And I told him, to a certain extent, he will probably be able to buy his way out of a serious court case or something like that. But unfortunately, with the NFL now involved, it doesn't really matter what happens court-wise, what happens financially. The NFL is going to come to their own conclusion, and that's what we don't know they're going to end up doing. So even if he is able to sidestep it legally, which, most people with his kind of financial backing usually can sidestep anything legal at this point, right? So I would expect that. But on the NFL side, none of that will matter, even if he's able to buy the guy out, right?
Yeah. Well, he already kind of did try. The report allegedly is he did offer the man, was it $200 to just hush up?
Come on, Tyreek. You got to do better than that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we know how much you're making, and you think $200 will fix it?
$2,000. See, $2,000
Yeah.
at that moment, he says, well, $2,000. Yeah, let me forget about all of this, and just walk away. But $200, bro. Come on.
Maybe it was just what he had on him in cash or something. I don't know.
That's probably you're right. That's probably it. I mean, we don't have to carry a lot of cash nowadays. Hell, I barely ever carry any cash, dude. I might have $5 on me. Normally, I live off of digital my entire existence.
Yeah. For the most part, I try to sometimes because it is nice just knowing like you have your bank account a certain number, and then when you use the cash, it's not like there's no movement. You just use money that you've already accounted for. I don't know. Sometimes I like to do that.
Yeah. All right. Free agency, everything looks like everything's pretty quiet right now. You feel like the Dolphins are kind of set going into camp?
Yeah, pretty close to it. I mean, we'll see what happens with the Dalvin Cook situation. So probably that's where the focus lies. And maybe they still go after a smaller signing. This team still needs a backup nose tackle unless they can see that that undrafted rookie Brandon Peely out of USC being able to be that guy. And maybe even they go into training camp and then figure out whether they need someone else in there, or there's different rotations they could do along the defensive line where maybe it's not the best nose tackle per se, but if you then can have Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer be versatile in their alignment, then you could try different things and you could just find a best down lineman available, if you will, and get Emmanuel Ogbah back in there a little bit more in some different combinations because he wasn't around last year. So maybe another offensive lineman just to provide a little bit more competition and depth. But Dolphins kind of showed what their plans are there by just leaving the first wave alone and then just going with Dan Feeney on the interior and then adding Isaiah Wynn and Cedric Ogbuehi there. So they do want to see how much they can develop Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg in these key second seasons in this offense for those young linemen. I'm
with you there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, we have myself and my partner Chris Perkins over here at the Sun Sentinel. We're dishing out a series of storylines heading into camp. So once we get to that 10-day mark, then those will start being released. We're working on them already. So getting those prepared and being ready to pivot at a moment's notice if something happens. And then me, by the end of the week, I'm trying to just go on vacation. Big O, I got my boy's bachelor party in New Orleans, but I'll still join you that Thursday once I'm kind of I think I'm in town already by Thursday afternoon, and then hopefully I'm not I haven't gotten started too much and I can be coherent for your show.
All right. Maybe we'll push it to Friday that day. So you can
Oh no, I think Friday will be worse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the whole weekend. Let's get it out of the way Thursday.
Yeah, let's get out of the way Thursday before the liquor really builds up there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great David Furones with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And we love EJD Eric and great people out there, man. 305-433-4843. Save it on that cell phone. Only Dade and Broward counties. Okay. They got a lot of business. Unfortunately, they don't cover all of South Florida, but Dade and Broward counties. If you're looking for custom home construction, major home remodeling, from building an entire second floor to building an efficiency to building an entire apartment in your backyard to use it as a Airbnb or something like that, like one of our listeners did. Another one of our listeners built an observation deck. Another one of our listeners, unfortunately, had a fire and had to kind of remediate the entire home. So you had to gut the entire thing out and redo everything. Full contractor, folks. And everybody is insured. So when they walk onto their property, anybody that's working on your property and they get injured, they're not going to sue you. I don't know if you know this, but you may hire somebody out there that is not fully insured. That's not good for you. See, EJD Construction is fully insured. Cutter's Edge Pro, fully insured. I would not bring them onto my platform if they weren't fully insured, because then you hire them and then they lie to you and then they get you in trouble, and that's not cool. People do that all the time. Make sure when they tell you they're fully insured, prove it. Show the proof that they are fully insured. So if you're looking for custom home construction, major home remodeling, save it on the cell phone and call my friend Eric at ejdconstruction.com. He's the owner. 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. ejdconstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Right. So by Greg's core standards, anyone that has done you wrong so many times, you have to trust them 100% already. Yeah, that's kind of what he's saying. Yeah. Greg's a terrific guy, bro. Good dude. I think that's a crazy ass article. I think that article makes zero sense. Go support him, go watch him if you want, but you don't have to pack the place. I understand people that are not going yet to the Marlins, that don't trust the Marlins yet. I understand people that want to see over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? The hockey team was incompetent for many, many years. And you've watched now since Sifu and Viola, especially Viola, obviously, is the main owner, and then Sifu. Since those two gentlemen took over, they've only gotten better and better and better. They've made it to the playoffs now 4 straight years. So now, and they signed their people long-term. The Panthers have proven way over time now that this ownership group can be trusted. They pay their people. They keep their people. They only want to get better. They will do whatever it takes, from signing a goalie to a ridiculous contract. And everybody thought he was the answer. It didn't work out, but it didn't stop them. And they went and got a superstar this year in Matthew Tkachuk. I mean, I don't know what more proof you need from Viola and Sifu. You could go all in. And that's all I'm asking. And that's where I think Cody's completely out of his freaking mind. So until I see from Sherman what I've seen from Viola and Sifu, I can't. Oh, no, you guys should. No. I understand if you're not there yet with the Marlins. Hey, man, they got to earn it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. It would be epic if Furones would come on with an Expos hat. That would be funny, actually. Yeah. That would be good. Running back market oversaturated. You are correct, King Short. What else? As a Dolphins Florida State fan, I can't wait to see Mike McCoy walk back his comments after calling us garbage all last year. He called Florida State garbage? If he did, that was just him being a fan. Florida State is better than Miami. They're ahead of Miami. Mike Norvell's done a good job, dude. I don't know how you don't give Florida State credit. You can be a fan or whatever and take your shots, but, John says, only team I'm a fan of Florida is Dolphins. I still listen every day to the whole show. Wow. That's strong. Because, when there's no Dolphin stuff, I don't talk it. I'll go in the other directions. Big O, did you ever see the original Pretenders with James Honeyman Scott? Oh, God. I don't think he was with the band the first time I saw the Pretenders in the 80s at it was like 85, 86 or something at the Sporto. I think he was gone by then. I'm you know what? I'd be lying to you to tell you if I remember if Scott was still with them or not. What year did he leave? See, that's where I'm a little lost right now. So in the mid 80s, there was a time they went to the Sporto, and I'm not sure. I want to say he wasn't there, but I might be off. You know what I'm saying? So you got to help me. That I won't know. I won't even know if I saw him or not, put it that way. Apologies. That was a long time ago, bro. Jesus. Hard to remember. I'm waiting for Omar to write an article on brisket coming back. Oh, you guys are cruel. By the way, Inter Miami tied DC over the weekend 2-2. Cramachi, by the way, nice goal by him. Allen had like a seeing eye goal in the 68th minute. 3 straight ties. They're still winless in their last 10. It still sucks because you're going to get Messi and you'll see him for a couple of games, but I just don't see them making the playoffs, man. We'll see. I mean, they're going to need one miracle run, to be quite honest. Saturday, they take on St. Louis on the road at 8:30. Boston lost to the Heat. Remember, Boston fans, Miami owns your ass. You're Miami's bitch in everything. Orlando Robinson kicked ass. Jovic shot well. Jamal Cain played well. The bench sucked. That's for sure. Tonight, by the way, they take on the Suns at the Atomic and Max Center at 6:30. Jaime Jaquez has been out with the shoulder injury. Some, like Ira Winderman, think that they might be stashing him and not showcasing him for trade. You know what? Ira could be right on that one. You never know. But I do love the Oliver Stone ways of thinking there. It's funny. It's interesting. Did you guys see the Bob Huggins story? I'm not sure if all of you watch Seinfeld or have watched Seinfeld. But there's an episode in Seinfeld where Costanza quits his job. Remember? Ripped into the boss, all that. And then the weekend passes and he thinks that he can, that he was kidding and joking. You guys remember that? And he shows up to the Monday morning meeting and he's at the end of the table and the boss like, what's he doing here? And he's trying to play, I was just kidding and all that kind of stuff. And you remember that Costanza quit but wanted to fake quitting and all that? Well, Bob Huggins, by the way, is kind of trying to pull that with West Virginia. All right, this low-life loser, which Bob Huggins is a low-life loser, says he never resigned as West Virginia basketball coach following his drunken driving arrest, and now he wants his job back, according to a letter from his attorney in the university. Huggins, Cleveland-based attorney David Campbell, wrote to the university Friday that he never signed a resignation letter and never communicated a resignation to anyone at WVU. The letter threatens a lawsuit if Huggins isn't reinstated, and Huggins' demands were first reported by West Virginia network Metro News. Huggins was charged with DUI in Pittsburgh on June 16th. A breath test determined Huggins' blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit. His resignation was announced by the university the following week. A week later, remember, he had all those homophobic comments, the month before. This guy is a racist scumbag that you could tell he's been a racist scumbag his whole life, but you kind of hide behind it, but then you eventually get exposed, and there you go. So a week later, assistant Josh Ellert was promoted to interim coach for the 23-24 season. Campbell's letter said the university announced Huggins' resignation based on a text from Coach Huggins' wife. The university responded to Campbell in a letter Saturday that read in part, "We are frankly confused by the allegations with the letter." WVU said Huggins met with his players and members of the basketball staff on June 17th to announce that he would no longer be coaching the team. It said Huggins clearly communicated his resignation and retirement in writing, and both parties have reasonably relied on that resignation and retirement notification in a number of ways since then. But here's my problem. What if he was drunk at that moment? He doesn't remember it. He is a drunk. The university provided the AP with a copy of the notice sent by Huggins' wife on June that same day. It read, "Please accept this correspondence as my formal notice of resignation as WVU head coach and notice of my retirement from West Virginia University effective immediately." The notice was sent from an email address associated with June Huggins with a signature indicating it was sent via iPhone. It was sent to Orazi's email and did not appear to be a text message, as Campbell claimed. West Virginia Athletic Director Ren Baker responded an hour later by writing, "We accept your resignation and we wish you your best in retirement. We appreciate your many years of dedication to WVU." Less than an hour after that, the university released two statements, one announcing Huggins' resignation, right? The resignation was announced a month later after the university gave Huggins a 3-game suspension for using anti-gay slurs while also denigrating Catholics during a radio interview. Several of Huggins' players have already entered the transfer portal, and some have found new teams. Campbell said Huggins' contract required the coach to send the notice in writing by registered or certified mail to the athletic director and to the university general counsel. Despite the threat of a lawsuit, Campbell's letter said Huggins does not desire litigation. Rather, he's simply looking for a correction of a clear breach of his employment agreement with WVU. Huggins is trying to pull a Costanza. This is just awesome. No, I didn't know that doesn't count. I didn't really resign. I didn't really want to go. I was just kidding. Come on, I was joking. Seriously. You can't make this shit up, dude. I mean, the guy's acting like a drunk. Whew. Doesn't want litigation. Yeah, I guess he needs a little more money to buy a little more alcohol. Wow. Oh, there we go. Bob Costanza Huggins. Love it. James Honeyman Scott passed away in 82. So, yes, he wasn't there. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. I did not know exactly the year he was born. I remember the first time I saw the Pretenders, but I don't remember if Honeyman Scott was there with him or not. Sorry. That's it was still a great concert, by the way, with or without Honeyman Scott. So that's all I can tell you. I really enjoyed I've always been a big Chrissy Hine fan. Let me tell you, the last time I saw Chrissy Hine, she opened up for Stevie Nicks. Those two toured together. And I got to tell you something. She blew Stevie Nicks away. Like, Stevie still sounds good, but obviously she doesn't have the power in her voice like she used to. Chrissy Hine hasn't missed a beat. The voice you heard in the 80s is the same voice you'll hear now. It's like when I went to go see Bryan Adams, I was like, holy crap. This guy sounds exactly like he did in the 80s. His voice is still as powerful as it's ever been. I was so impressed. If anybody went to that concert, I think it was at the BB&T Center or Florida Live Arena, whatever the hell it's called now. And if you went to that Chrissy Hine, Stevie Nicks concert, I want to say 4 years ago or something like that. Dude, Chrissy Hine blew. I mean, shattered Stevie Nicks. Shedube-dube. No Doubt says, what's up, and Fins fans? I hope your weekends were excellent. Dropping in during lunch. I look forward to catching up this afternoon. Monday morning criminal court is a special place. Huggins is screwed. Huggins is a loser. Oh, You pound any Grey Goose and Edge energy drink, the perfect elixir this week. And I did not, actually. I did not. And I'm out of Edge. I have no more Edge. What else do we have besides Bob Huggins? So Wemby plays well. Did you see Pops signed a 5-year, $80 million extension? He is 74 years old. 74. But if you look at Popovich at 74, and how old is Biden? Oh, my God. Like, there's no comparison, right? What is Biden? Do you know his age, Sean? Isn't he like 78 or 80 or 77 or something?
I don't know. I just stepped out. I just got back.
He's 80. He's 80. 6 years ahead of him. Still, I don't think Popovich will be anything like him at 80. Like, he still like looks good, man. Still sounds good. Still sounds, doesn't sound like our president who falls asleep and can't put one or two sentences together. Have you seen Dorothy? No, Christo. I am dying to see Dorothy. I have not seen Dorothy. My best friend, Grieper, has seen her a couple of times. The bastard went to New Orleans to see her at a small club. Son of a bitch. I'm so jealous. I love Dorothy. She is fantastic, dude. Fantastic. She is a talent. I have not seen her. Dying to see her. Going to Greta in Cleveland again. Nice. Good for you. Chrissy Hines' performance at Live Aid is nice. She was beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a beautiful woman. And super, 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 super gifted. You saw Dorothy open up for Greta Van Fleet. Wow, that is a nice pairing right there, dude. And I like the new music that Greta has come out with. We've got the first 4 songs of the new album. Really good, man. Really enjoying it. Big O, will you attend Messi's introduction this Sunday at Drive Pink Stadium? No, I won't. No, it's too crazy. I'm not going to go to that craziness. No interest whatsoever. I'll watch it on television. Parking there is a disaster, and no, it's all right. I'm good. I'll watch it on television. I'm fine on television watching it. No need to be there personally. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, little Dolphins stuff. Let's get into a little Dolphins talk, right? Why don't we do that? There's not a lot of stuff to talk about, but there's a couple of things. We told you about Tyreek, obviously, Channel 7. What's it called? Drew completely dodged it. Completely bogus. So, and we talked about the silly Dalvin Cook updates. He's not signing with anybody. That was not news, to be quite honest. Not that what Jeff Darlington reported was inaccurate. It was accurate, but it's not really news. He's not signing with anybody. It's not a Dolphins thing. He's disappointed. He's just pissed that his hometown team is offering $4.5 million and the Jets are offering $5 million. And somebody else is offering 5.5. And that's what he's pissed off at. You know what I'm saying? One, that the offers are way shorter than what he expected, and that the Dolphins are offering slightly less than those teams. And he's going to have to take the Dolphins instead of going to New York for $500,000 or $750,000 or $1 million more, because once you take out the taxes and traveling and packing and unpacking and a new place, and you're only going to be there for a year, you don't even want to go through that hassle. You'll take the lesser money and come home and get the home cooking and all that crap. So we talked about that, right? And his agent, Zach Hiller, is the other guy stirring it up with the Jets talk. And it is so bogus. Okay? I just want to tell Zach Hiller and Dalvin Cook, You guys suck at selling yourselves. Just want you guys to know this, okay? Just want you guys to. The worst thing you did, Zach and Dalvin, the second you got released, you called Miami right away like a little puppy dog. I want to go home. I want to go home. Everybody knows you want to go home, dude. Even our sucker Dolphin fans that wanted to pay you $7-8 million and all that, they follow Omar Kelly with that craziness. Oh no, you got to sign Dalvin Cook right away. This, that. You're a Super Bowl contender and that silliness. I love Omar, but that has really no. You're a Super Bowl contender if your offensive line plays well, if your quarterback and your receivers play at a high level, if the head coach knows how to stick to the run, if the defense actually plays really well. That's how it is. The running game is going to be complementary, not the difference why you win any Super Bowl or go to it. Silliness. But what you did, Mr. Hiller and Mr. Cook, what you should have done is, after you got released, you should have just waited and talked to nobody. Don't act desperate. You've acted desperate from the get-go. And the shit that your agent is pulling this weekend makes it even sound more desperate because you're trying to sell the bullshit of the Jets that you don't want to go to so you can try to get the Dolphins to bite. The unfortunate part for you guys is Mike Tannenbaum doesn't run the team anymore. Jeff Ireland doesn't run the team anymore. Okay? People that used to get suckered and would overpay and overreact, those people aren't there anymore. Chris Greer is on some paradise island having a vacation with his family, kicking back, going, I'm in no hurry. Oh, Zach Hiller is calling. Oh, I can't answer right now. I'm a little busy. There's a master class going on how you handle things as a general manager. And it's all being held right now by Chris Greer, okay? And for those of you that want to learn how to become general managers, maybe the guy from the Portland Trailblazers can take that course. He can learn from Chris Greer. Chris Greer has been master. Dalvin Cook gets released. Dalvin Cook calls the Dolphins. Gets the offer, is disappointed with the offer, goes around the NFL, and is disappointed with everybody else's offer. Now, camp is coming around the corner, so he sends a desperation signal through Jeff Darlington. You guys could not have played this any worse than you have, Zach and Dalvin. So, since you've already screwed it all up, just go sign with the Dolphins and stop eating shit. But go ahead, guys. Wait another week and wait till camp gets closer, and then you'll sign with the Dolphins. Whatever. Enjoy yourselves. But Mr. Hiller and Mr. Cook, don't play poker. Neither one of you guys are very good at poker. You both will be taken to the cleaners. Nobody is going to say to you, pay the man his money. Okay? The guy that is winning in the poker table all the time, and he's going like this, bringing it all in, it's Chris Greer. That's the real poker player here. Not Zach Hiller or Dalvin Cook. Hey, let's give you a little something about DeMaurice Smith. And are you ready some of you to get pissed? Are you? Are you ready to get pissed? So I tell you all the time that while it's a sports show, I give opinions on lots of other things in life. You may not like it. Sometimes you might be a butthurt Democrat or a butthurt Republican because, as you know, if you really follow, I don't care about either party. I don't root for either party. I think they're both jokes. Well, DeMaurice Smith wants to abandon the NFL's Rooney Rule. He calls it a failure. The NFL has utilized the law from its unique antitrust treatment to its former status as a nonprofit entity and beneficiary of taxpayers' funding of stadiums to operate seemingly above the law. Our hope, therefore, is to lay out exactly what the Rooney Rule has failed to achieve, its intended result, and encourage either federal, state, or local governments to insist on exercising some accountability given the lucrative benefits conferred upon the NFL. All right. To fix it, owners need to abandon the Rooney Rule as a failure and replace their unchecked discretion and comprehensive requirements to eliminate discrimination, ensure fairness, improve diversity, and build an equitable, transparent, and accountable system. Do you want to do that? Do you really want to do that? Do you? Do you really want to do that? How about we do this in life? How about we just hire people that are qualified? Because what you do with the Rooney Rule sometimes, and in other ways, and in other things in life, you force the issue of hiring someone else that isn't qualified. So now you force an owner, and by the way, no owner should be forced to hire what somebody else wants. They should hire whatever, it's their business. Okay? Now, all owners want to win. They all want to win, dude. Eventually, the AFL was beating the NFL off the field and on the field. They were gaining ground. Why? Dude, they were going to black colleges. In the end, they were gathering better athletes because the NFL was refusing to go through all the black colleges. So that's kind of reverse. So you want to screw yourself, you go ahead and screw yourself. But most everybody's going to want to win, right? If you're a record company, you want to win. You don't give a shit what they look like. You don't care what country they come from. Can you sell records? Great. You're Jay-Z. Oh, you happen to be black. Fantastic. But you happen to be really talented. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're Taylor Swift or you're Beyonce, who gives a shit? I see it in my business all the time. I see radio stations, television stations. I don't think it happens as much in writing. I'm going to have to plead ignorance there. But I see it in the electronic side where people are hiring to fill quotas and they're hiring people that are unqualified. I personally don't believe in this because I believe it creates a bad environment for leadership, for owners. Because if they're stuck to a quota that they have to fill, they're not maximizing their business. Oh, I got to hire a woman here because I haven't hired a woman. But if I hire a man here, but this man happens to be 3 times more talented than the woman, but I have to hire the woman because I'm not diverse enough. That's ridiculous. I've got to hire this Hispanic, this Asian, whatever, because I have too many whites. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if you happen to hire 60% of your employees are Asian? Well, dude, if they happen to fit what you need and they have a skill set, then maybe that's why you're hiring them. Who cares? So in a Thai restaurant, they might be hiring people that kind of understand that. It may not be people that are American. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you may have to hire a certain kind of people for certain kind of things. But that should be to the owner's discretion. And so when you're forcing them to interview people that aren't ready or give them the job when they're not ready, then all you're doing is setting them up for failure. And you're setting up your business for failure. And I see it in my business when I see bad broadcasters that don't know anything, that aren't polished, that really can't deliver what you need. Oh no, but we got to fill the quota. Okay, but this person's boring as hell. This person brings no insight. This person doesn't have any opinion, but it fills a quota. So, yeah, the Rooney Rule is unsuccessful, but it's not because what the part that I hate is we make it sound like minorities don't get any breaks, don't get any opportunities. And by the way, they're making their own opportunities all the damn time. I see it everywhere. So from politics to business to now, is everybody equal? No, of course not. Are we going to have people that are biased? Yeah. You think you're going to change them by forcing them to go through some rule? No, dude. They'll just circumvent the rule and make it a joke like they have with the Rooney Rule. Because you should not force somebody to hire something to fill a quota. How about let's get back to, can you do the job? You know what I'm saying? Can you do the job? And then you hire the person because they can do the job. But if you're going to put a gun to somebody's head because they've got to follow a quota, and then they're going to be considered racist or whatever if they don't, but who gives a shit? If they happen to like this person and they want to hire this woman, then they should hire this woman. Oh, no, wait a minute. You haven't hired enough Hispanics. You're hiring a white woman. Who gives a shit? She can do the job. She's the best qualified person. Hire her. I don't think owners, and especially rich people, they don't want clowns running their businesses because then they're not going to continue to, make the same kind of money. I think in most cases, they're not going to care what the person looks like or whatever. We're not going to ever eliminate racism. And you're certainly not going to force it out of people. But are we less racist than we've ever been? Of course we are. We didn't have a black president 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Never happened. Hispanics have, positions all over that are dominating. Didn't happen 50 years ago. Women have opportunities like they've never had before. They couldn't vote 50, whatever it was, 70, 80 years ago, whatever the hell it was. I forgot the date that they finally allowed women to vote. I mean, are you kidding me, dude? So of course we've grown. Of course we have grown as a society. I watch millennials and Generation Zs, and I'm proud of those generations in a sense that they're more accepting of each other than we ever were. So we have grown, we have become more accepting of others, but you're not going to force it down people's throats. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be a certain group of people that you're never going to change who they are. So they will stay racist and they will stay biased. But a rule cannot force someone to stop being that. And the rule should not be forcing owners to do things that are not positive for their business. So that's why the Rooney Rule has failed. Look, in the end, it's really simple. Even though it's near impossible to accomplish. It's not a matter of opportunities, okay? It's a matter of foundation and education. If everybody has the same kind of foundation and the same kind of education, then everyone will grow with the same kind of opportunities. But that's been the problem from the beginning of time. The problem is what happens fundamentally at the beginning of life in the first 18 years. That's the part that's where we've got to focus. That's where we've got to give every child the equal opportunity to educate themselves, to better themselves, because then that's how foundationally everybody moves forward. That's our real problem. That's what creates the opportunities. It's not after the fact that we want to force it. No, force it early, where you're not forcing anybody to give anybody a job. You're giving everybody an opportunity to get whatever job and career they want, because they have the opportunity to study and become whatever they want foundationally. That's always been our problem. Okay? You can keep anybody dumb as long as you don't educate them. You can keep people down if you don't actually create the avenues for them. So that's what it is. But you can't do it after the fact when they aren't properly trained and they don't have the skill set. And that's because foundationally you did not take care of them fundamentally. And that's the real problem that we have. But you cannot force people to hire people that are not qualified. And man, I see it in the broadcast biz where they're filling quotas left and right, and they're doing it just to kind of for the looks of it, but they're not doing what's best for their company. They're not putting the best broadcasters, the best reporters out there. They don't care about that because they're just filling quotas. And that's not good for anybody at all. Just an opinion. You must hire based on merit, plain and simple. There's nothing wrong with that. Big O, ESPN laid off many people. How the hell has Kendrick Perkins survived? His tales are horrible. Oh, his takes, you mean? Okay. Sometimes they are. You are correct. And by the way, I failed you, didn't I? On Saturday, Frankie? Because I went with my Polynesian brother there, and didn't CM Punk win? I'm on a stinker right now, bro. Dave says the most qualified are most qualified for a reason. You want to be the best, then you hire the best, and your competitors hire the rest. Exactly. Women got the right to vote in 1920. It was 1920, Karun. Thank you. It was a long time ago, but man. Big O, which is why affirmative action in general is such a scam, hiring quotas under the guise of equality instead of who is best qualified. Yep. And all you're doing is hurting your business too in the process. And you're creating a sour taste in people's mouths that own businesses because they're not maximizing it because they find themselves trying to fill some stinking quota. Let's see. You did, Big O, but I'm proud of you that you know that CM Punk won. Yes. Yes, I ran into it on social media yesterday. There was a scene where CM Punk was diving off the ropes and he walks away. He was supposed to land on, is that what it is? He was supposed to hit him off the ropes. Is that what it was, Sean? And so he just like walks away and CM Punk lands on the ground and he's like writhing in pain and all that. I got to say, I thought that was kind of funny. CM got punked is what happened there, right? Basically. How about that, Frankie? I'm even watching a wrestling highlight or low light. I'm not exactly sure how you want to look at it, my brother. Oh, man. God. By the way, we got to spark it up here, Sean. The Marlins won yesterday, taking 2 of 3 from Philadelphia and winning the series. Let's give them a victory cigar. U.S. women's soccer team won 2-0 over the weekend. Give them a victory cigar. The Miami Heat continued the tradition that we have here in South Florida where we bitch slap Beantown. We own you, Boston. You are our bitches. The Miami Heat defeated the Celtics 99-88. Give them a victory cigar. Love it. Love it. What else? What else? What else? He says, Frankie says, look at you watching wrestling highlights. Slowly, you're joining the dark side. What do I think about the possible UPS strike? I think we're not going to get our packages. That's what I have no idea. I don't know. I had no idea that UPS was about to strike. That's a tough job, dude. UPS drivers are some tough hombres and women's. You people are, man, you're delivering hundreds of packages a day. That is some back-breaking stuff, dude. What about the NBA Cup goofy? Yeah, I didn't I talk about the NBA tournament on Friday, Sean? It's stupid. I hate it. It's ridiculous. The regular season doesn't mean shit. So you're going to hold a tournament in early December? The regular season means nothing. Who cares about that tournament? It's silly, dude. It's a waste of time. Like I care about that. You know what I care about? That he made it to 2 finals and 3 Eastern Conference finals in the last 4 years. I need to get the piece to get them over the top. That's what I'm focused on. Hey, the Heat, unfortunately, bro, they got eliminated in the second round, but they won that December tournament. Yeah, great. Fantastic. Players won $500,000. Yeah, that's awesome. It's part of the regular season, Drew, is what they're doing. It's ridiculous, dude. It makes zero sense. And I can't see NBA fans really getting excited about that. What is it that I don't know, the Charlotte Hornets or the Chicago Bulls or the Orlando Magic or something win that tournament and they're going to be happy or something? Do you think Laker fans are going to care about that tournament, or Celtic fans or Heat fans? Like teams that are like trying to win championships? The Sixers? You think the Golden State Warriors are going to care about that tournament? No. The Milwaukee Bucks? They don't even play the games in the regular season. So what's the NBA going to do? Start fining them for resting on those games during that bogus tournament? Come on, dude. It just gets to a point where it's ridiculous. You don't need it. The regular season's long enough as it is and not important enough. So why add something that still isn't going to make it important? Good afternoon, Big O, says Dan B. The UPS strike is mainly happening for the workers in the background, the ones loading the trucks. Hopefully you had a nice weekend. Still backbreaking stuff. Those people earn their money, dude. Got much respect for you, UPS and FedEx and DHL and all you delivery people. And obviously USPCS or USPCS, whatever it is, United States Postal Service, USPS, exactly. Okay. Much respect for all you folks out there that work hard every day delivering packages and dealing with traffic and delivering thousands of boxes in a month. Big O, when you mentioned to Sean it was time to spark it up, it got me all excited. Well, one day we'll be at a dispensary and we'll literally spark it up. What if they award extra ping pong balls to teams that win during the tournament to help out Orlando? Remember, winning the number 1 pick does not help out Orlando. They've won it 3 times. And they win nothing. So, hey, you know what it is? Maybe in Orlando they hire for quota. Okay. Just Just wanted to throw it out there. It's, after all, isn't Spo a minority? Okay. All right. Just saying. One of the few candidates that, actually the only candidate I like in the presidential race, Vivek Ramaswamy, would be the only, right now, he's the only guy I'm voting for. Right now. That's it. That's the guy. And another minority. Just saying. You can make your own way, dude. It's up to you. You can do what you want. So it's this country is open to all of us to take advantage. So it's up to you. Still remember that time when Orlando drafted Shaq and Penny Hardaway. Exactly. I remember that too. My dad, rest his soul, was a UPS driver in South Florida in the 70s and became a manager for the company. It was hard work that afforded my family a good life. Yeah, they pay well, but you're gonna work your ass off. I mean, that is definitely not a joke working for UPS. Not everybody can work for UPS. That's one thing I've learned from the people that work there, that I've known. If you're not a hard worker, you probably will not survive at UPS, because you better have some serious work ethic to survive in UPS. Am I wrong for any of you out there that work in that job? I get the sense that lazy people will get roasted in that place. You got to hustle the entire time. True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Hey, by the way, forgot to tell you, and True Fin Fan says maybe in Orlando they hire for quota. You like that one, didn't you? Because True Fin Fan went to Hialeah Park 2 Thursdays ago. Josh went this Thursday, and I've been telling you guys that let's make it an event. How about this? How about, since there's so many of you on the chat board every day, how about you guys talk amongst yourselves and plan amongst yourselves when you can, a date that a bunch of you can show up. I'm talking 8, 10, 20, 30 people. Show it up and make it. That way I know you're coming and I can then plan for it and have some fun, maybe bring some prizes and some giveaways. But that way, you guys, because like one person shows up and then another person shows up and you're not really communicating with each other and all that kind of stuff, plan it ahead. And that way, maybe once a bunch of you show up one week, then you can start to make it a traditional thing, and then we can start to build it up. I mean, you can gamble, you can eat, you can hang out, you can listen to the show, you can ask questions, and I'm going to bring some prizes. If you guys do your part and show up and make it more of an event, and it's a super comfortable area, ask True Fin Fan, ask Josh. They've been there. Ask a couple of other guys that have been there. DJ Gallagher. Or Gallagher's there. DJ Gallagher's been there several times. We've had plenty of people that have come by, but it's usually individuals that come by. So I'm thinking, if you guys talk amongst yourselves and try to get as many as you can, you guys were telling me before that you wanted me to plan a get together for everybody, at some bar or something. Well, here's one that we do every Thursday. So, and it's a really cool place, really easy to get to. I-95, the Palmetto, it doesn't matter. Really easy to get to and easy to get the hell out of. So, just saying. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me a plan. Tell me how many you're going to go. And that way I can kind of plan for it and make it an event for you guys. Okay? Stanley Cup versus any cup, no contest. Well, Stanley Cup playoffs are amazing. They are amazing. Working in the UPS warehouse is sick. Work ethic is any blue-collar job is essential. Tony says, I like Vivek, Big O. He's a good candidate. He's smart. He actually wants to talk about the stuff that is affecting us, because all we have is Democrats and Republicans that all they want to do is play culture wars, sex wars. It's all they want to keep you guys busy, and not enough business, not enough about rebuilding our country and our economy and all that kind of stuff. You know, he wants to take the dollar back to gold. I like that. He not just gold, but other valuables. Probably Bitcoin will be included in there and some other things, so you can make the dollar stronger. I love that idea. There's a lot of things I like about him. And listen, he's kind of conservative in some stretches, some things that I may not agree with. Like I told you guys, I vote for Republicans or Democrats. I don't give a shit. I don't care about either party. I care about the individual. I care about you guys, Americans. And when I vote for a candidate, I just try to vote for the what's it called? The lesser of two evils is kind of what I end up seeing. But I'll say this, Vivek gives me a little bit more hope, actually. He's young. He's a millennial. You know, he's just, it's refreshing the way he thinks and goes about things compared to the crap I got to hear from Biden, from Trump, from DeSantis. I can't take it from those three. Cannot take it. Hate it. So Vivek is the one guy that so far out of all these guys here and women that are part of both sides. Well, I mean, on the Democrat side, it's just the old man. They don't even want anybody challenging the old man. That's pathetic, by the way. Big O makes me want to spark it up here at work. I'm already YouTube. There you go. Light it up, bro. Light me up or leave me alone. I worked at UPS as a seasonal unloader. Got a chance to see what my dad had to go through on a daily basis. His sacrifice is that tough environment. I heard, man. I heard. Soft people can't work at UPS. Frankie says, I go to Hialeah Park a lot, just not on Thursdays. Not only once or twice on a Thursday, but I go there and on the weekends to gamble, hardly win. Well, you know, it's gambling. It's not that easy. Bring the hat, Big O. What hat do I bring, Miami Breaker? What hat do I bring? What do you want me to bring? This hat? You like this one? Orlando, if I ever drive down to Hialeah, got the show, I'd have to go live on Facebook or Instagram while there. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Stand next to one of the lovely ladies there at Hialeah Park serving you food. The entire chat crew doing that would be cool. I think it's awesome if we could get a lot of you on the chat board to come on out. I think if we start making that an event, you know, I promise you, I will do my part and have some fun and bring some prizes and some giveaways. Vivek is actually leading Clown DeSantis in the polls. I don't think so. Not yet, Tony. Not yet. But once we get to the debates, he's going to sound way more intelligent than most of these idiots. And so that's where he's going to crush it. Smart dude, bro. Smart dude. Smart dude. I just think that when I look at our economy and where we're going and all the crap that we do, I just think he might bring a little bit more common sense and not spend so much and not tax the hell out of us and all the kind of crap that we've got going on right now, that we're spending way too much and the taxes are just absolutely brutal. So, but really, amongst you guys, communicate, man. See if you guys can start to plan to make, you know, Thursdays an event, you know, and come on out. It's a great place. You get to hang out. You got chairs and tables. You're in the AC. You got lovely ladies serving you drinks or food if you want. You can gamble, play some poker or any of the other games. You can gamble on the horse races around the country. You can go downstairs, loosest slots in Florida. So, you got all those opportunities while we're there. And then, you know what? Sean will open up a mic. So if you guys have a question, we don't take phone calls, right? But this is kind of our way that people that are there will be able to grab a mic and ask us a question if they want. I think that'll be really, really cool. Is Francis Suarez doing the debate? I don't know, but I'm more of a Vivek guy than a Francis Suarez guy, if anything. Would have a big turn up if you're in Vegas, brother. LOA, by the way, Marlins winning. Great win. Yes, they're doing really good, man. Steven says he's down for Thursdays. There you go. So talk amongst yourselves. I don't want one of you just showing up. I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves there on the chat where you guys always have conversations amongst yourselves. So a couple of you need to take the lead and then try to build it up and see and maybe set a date. Maybe it's not this Thursday. Maybe it's 4 Thursdays from now, the first Thursday. And maybe you guys can plan, like maybe if you don't do it every Thursday, but you get together maybe every other month, every 3 months or whatever, and you make it an event. I will do my part. I promise you. But I need you guys to do your part first. That's the only way that it happens. And once we do it, then we'll do it more often and we'll have some fun with it. So that's all I'm saying. I think it'll be really, really cool. All right. We are out of here. We thank Ira Winderman and David Furones, as always. Marcel will join us tomorrow along with Manny. And I forgot who else is tomorrow. But and Cameron Wolf. So Marcel will join us tomorrow. I don't know if we'll have any Dolphin news, but we'll see. We thank Sean Stanley as always. We will see all of you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.